Nigerians, type congratulations to the Nigerian army in the comment section. Type it there. You know the story. You know the story. If then they hide them, the English Alhaji, they bring them out. I they active. Now this kind of news they sweet me. It just sweet me. Borno must be free. Yo. Katsina must be free. Yeah. Sokoto must be free. Yo. Imo State must be free. Yeah. Abia State must be free. Kogi State must be free. If I no call your state, make you no verse. But all Nigeria must be free. Yeah. Ha! That's so. Body they sweet me. Yo. Type it. Congratulations, dear. That's so. Nigerian army stepping up now. They don't step up. Make we ginger them. So this morning. I never happy like this before. This morning, today's date is the 13th of March 2026 in the morning around 1:30 a.m. ISWAP they attack Borno State this morning. What do they call them? Banki again. Banki they under Bama local government area of Borno State. See, thank you to Nigerian army. You see those 152 battalion. Salute. Double hand salute. Salute. I said they came there around 1:30. Shooting started from 1:30 to 6 a.m. Go do verification. Go and do verification. The shooting there started around 1:30 to 6 a.m. this morning. As I'm talking to you, the Nigerians that fled to Cameroon, you know that place they come back to Nigeria again because Nigerian army conquered these people. To be smart, you know, they finish them. Broski, the bandit, Abina ISWAP, they collect. Nigerian army stood their ground against these guys. In fact, ISWAP collects. I don't feel like ISWAP go do verification. Those of you from that axis, I say come to the comment section and confirm this story here. From 1:30 to 6 a.m. this morning, it was fire for fire. That is about 4.5 hours of shooting, non-stop shooting. Nigerian army they dismantled these guys. They fled. The remaining ones who remain fled. Later came back to carry the dead bodies of their member. But as they come back to carry dead body, Nigeria army say, "Auto, congratulations, ayaga yo." I said Nigeria must be free, broski. See, ginger these guys. Type congratulations. Type congratulations. You get why? It is not easy. Type congratulations. Our army have suffered heavy loss. They don't suffer heavy like for the past 2 weeks. Our army don't to collect for these guys' hands. So as these guys collect this period, make we celebrate this army. Make we give them that gingering. You don't understand? So that they go understand. Say yes, we they appreciate their effort. We stand behind them, and we they give them that to go do the go. We do on our back. So I beg, make una type congratulations. Make una thank this army we do this thing. 152 battalion of Banki, Bama local government area of Borno State. God bless you now. God bless Nigeria. God bless Nigerian military, and God bless you all. You know the story, as in they hide them and they bring them. I can't live here without telling the federal government of bandits. For sake!
The statement you shared reflects a moment of intense public emotion around security developments in Nigeria, and it also highlights how ordinary citizens often react online when news about military operations spreads through social media. When we analyze a message like this carefully, we can see several layers of meaning: public frustration, patriotic sentiment, the influence of real-time online commentary, and the broader national conversation about security. Understanding these layers is important because discussions about national defense and internal security are highly sensitive topics, especially in a large and diverse country such as Nigeria. In this analysis, The goal is not to amplify unverified claims but to critically examine the narrative style, the social context behind the message, and the communication dynamics that shape how people interpret security events. At the beginning of the statement, the speaker directly addresses Nigerians, immediately establishing a sense of collective identity and national solidarity. This rhetorical approach is very common in political and social commentary across Africa and around the world. By calling out to a national audience, the speaker frames the message not as a personal opinion but as a shared experience. In communication theory, this technique is often used to reinforce group belonging and emotional alignment. When audiences feel that they are being addressed as members of a larger community, they are more likely to respond emotionally and interact with the message. If you are listening to this type of analysis right now, it is also a good moment to remember to subscribe to the channel and share your perspective in the comments, because public dialogue helps clarify different viewpoints and encourages balanced discussions. The next notable element in the statement is the repeated request for viewers to type "Congratulations" in the comment section for the Nigerian army. This call to action mirrors a pattern widely seen in digital activism and online engagement strategies. Social media commentators often encourage audiences to respond in the comments as a way to generate visibility and support. The more people comment, the more the platform algorithm interprets the content as engaging, which increases the likelihood that the video or message will reach a wider audience. In many ways, this strategy is similar to what content creators do on platforms such as YouTube when they ask viewers to like, comment, and share. However, beyond the digital strategy, the request for congratulations also reflects a deeper emotional need within communities affected by long-running security challenges. Over the past decade, regions in northeastern Nigeria, particularly in Borno State, have experienced recurring security incidents involving armed groups. Communities living in these areas often face uncertainty, displacement, and economic disruption. When news emerges suggesting that security forces have successfully defended an area or pushed back an attack, people may celebrate the event as a sign of resilience and hope. Even when the information circulating online is incomplete, the emotional reaction remains significant because it reflects a desire for stability and safety. Another interesting aspect of the statement is the mention of specific locations such as Bama, a local government area within Borno State. References to particular towns or districts can give a message the appearance of authenticity, especially when the speaker provides precise details such as times or units involved. In this case, the speaker mentions activity beginning around 1:30 a.m. and continuing until approximately 6 a.m. They also refer to a battalion number and encourage listeners to verify the information. This rhetorical move is important because it signals an attempt to appear credible. By inviting verification, the speaker indirectly acknowledges that information circulating during security incidents can sometimes be uncertain. The timeline described in the message suggests a prolonged exchange of fire between security forces and armed attackers. In conflict reporting, such time frames are often mentioned to emphasize the intensity of the encounter. Yet analysts and journalists typically caution against accepting such details immediately without confirmation from official statements or independent reporting. In regions affected by security tensions, rumors and fragmented information can spread rapidly through messaging apps and social media platforms. Therefore, responsible analysis requires acknowledging the possibility that some details may be exaggerated or incomplete. Another dimension of the statement concerns the speaker's emphasis on national unity. The message repeatedly states that several states must be free, mentioning regions such as Abia State, Imo State, Kogi State, Katsina State, and Sokoto State. By listing different parts of the country, the speaker frames the issue as a national challenge rather than a localized conflict. This approach is a common rhetorical technique in political communication. When commentators broaden the scope of a problem to include multiple regions, they encourage audiences to view the issue through a national lens rather than a regional one. In the Nigerian context, discussions about security often involve multiple overlapping concerns, including insurgency in the northeast, banditry in the northwest, communal tensions in parts of the Middle Belt, and political disputes in other regions. Each of these challenges has distinct causes and dynamics, yet public commentary sometimes merges them into a single narrative of national struggle. While this narrative can strengthen feelings of solidarity, it can also oversimplify complex realities on the ground. The statement also illustrates how informal language and local expressions shape political communication in online spaces. The speaker switches between English and colloquial phrases, a pattern common in Nigerian digital discourse. This style creates an impression of authenticity and relatability. Viewers often feel that such messages come from ordinary citizens rather than formal institutions. For content creators analyzing such statements, recognizing these linguistic patterns is essential because they reveal how grassroots narratives form and spread. Another element worth examining is the emotional tone of the message. The speaker expresses relief and excitement, describing the situation as fire for fire and celebrating what they perceive as a successful defense by the military. Emotional language is a powerful storytelling tool, particularly in voiceover commentary. When viewers hear excitement or relief in a narrator's voice, they may feel more connected to the story. However, analysts must balance emotional storytelling with careful evaluation of facts. In discussions about national security, maintaining objectivity helps audiences distinguish between verified development and enthusiastic interpretation. If you are following this analysis closely, this is also a good moment to engage with the conversation. Leave a comment sharing your thoughts about how online narratives shape public perception of security events. Your participation helps broaden the discussion and ensures that multiple perspectives are heard. Another important aspect of the statement is the reference to Nigerians who had fled across the border and might now be returning. The northeastern region of Nigeria shares borders with several neighboring countries, including Cameroon, Niger, and Chad. Over the years, periods of insecurity have led to cross-border displacement, with civilians seeking safety in neighboring territories. When communities hear reports suggesting that security conditions are improving, some displaced families consider returning home. This phenomenon highlights the human dimension behind security news. Beyond the headlines and online commentary, real people are making difficult decisions about where to live and how to rebuild their lives. The mention of a specific battalion in the statement also deserves attention. Military units are often recognized in public discourse after notable operations, especially when communities want to express gratitude or encouragement. Public appreciation for soldiers is a common phenomenon worldwide, particularly in countries facing ongoing security challenges. Expressions of support can boost morale, but they also remind observers that military personnel operate in demanding and sometimes dangerous conditions. At the same time, analysts must acknowledge that security operations are complex and multifaceted. A single encounter, even if successful, does not necessarily resolve the underlying causes of conflict. Long-term stability typically requires a combination of security measures, economic development, community engagement, and political dialogue. Many experts emphasize that addressing root causes, such as poverty, governance challenges, and social tensions, is essential for lasting peace. The statement's call to celebrate the army also reflects a broader dynamic in which citizens seek symbols of progress. In environments where security incidents have persisted for years, even small signs of improvement can become powerful narratives of hope. Social media amplifies these narratives by allowing individuals to share their reactions instantly with thousands or even millions of viewers. Yet the speed of online communication also introduces challenges. Information spreads faster than verification processes can keep up. A message recorded in one location can reach audiences across continents within minutes. For analysts and content creators, this means that responsible storytelling requires careful wording. Instead of presenting claims as absolute facts, it is often better to frame them as reports or accounts that may require confirmation. In the statement you provided, the speaker repeatedly encourages listeners to go to verification. This phrase is interesting because it suggests an awareness that online audiences value evidence. Encouraging verification can be interpreted as an attempt to build credibility. At the same time, it reminds us that audiences themselves play a role in the information ecosystem. Viewers who take the time to cross-check sources contribute to a more informed public conversation. Another layer of analysis involves the relationship between citizen commentary and official communication. Governments and military institutions usually release statements through formal channels, while citizens share experiences through informal networks. Sometimes these two streams of information complement each other, but at other times they diverge. When discrepancies appear, public debate intensifies. This dynamic is part of a broader trend in the digital age, the decentralization of information authority. Historically, news about security operations would have been reported primarily by professional journalists or government spokespersons. Today, Smartphones and social media allow ordinary individuals to record videos, write commentary, and broadcast their interpretations in real time. This transformation has democratized information sharing but also increased the importance of critical thinking. From a communication perspective, the message also demonstrates the power of repetition. The speaker repeats phrases such as, "type congratulations," multiple times. Repetition reinforces key ideas and ensures that listeners remember the central call to action. In digital storytelling, repeated phrases can become catchphrases that audiences echo in the comment section, further amplifying the message. Another dimension to consider is the symbolic meaning of national blessings expressed in the statement. Toward the end of the message, the speaker says, "God bless Nigeria," and "God bless Nigeria military." Religious language often appears in discussions about national security in many societies. Such expressions reflect cultural values and the belief that spiritual support complements human effort. While these phrases may not provide concrete policy solutions, they reveal how communities interpret difficult circumstances through moral and spiritual frameworks. As we continue examining this narrative, it is helpful to reflect on how messages like this influence public perception. When people repeatedly encounter stories emphasizing victories or setbacks, they gradually form mental images of the overall situation. These perceptions can shape attitudes toward government institutions, security forces, and national policies. Therefore, analysts and commentators carry a responsibility to present balanced perspectives. If you find this type of analysis helpful, remember to subscribe and share the video with others who are interested in understanding how narratives about security evolve in the digital era. Conversations like this contribute to a more thoughtful and informed online community. Another important point involves the speaker's criticism directed toward the federal government regarding banditry. Public frustration with security challenges often leads to strong demands for action. Citizens expect governments to protect lives and property, and when insecurity persists, criticism becomes more vocal. In democratic societies, such criticism can play a constructive role by encouraging transparency and accountability. However, it is equally important to maintain respectful and responsible discourse. Constructive dialogue focuses on solutions and evidence rather than accusations or inflammatory language. Content creators analyzing sensitive topics must therefore strike a careful balance between acknowledging public concerns and avoiding rhetoric that could escalate tensions. The message also highlights how local incidents can quickly become national conversations. A clash reported in one district can generate reactions across the entire country. This phenomenon demonstrates the interconnected nature of modern information networks. A single video clip or voice recording can spark thousands of comments, debates, and interpretations. Another interesting aspect is the speaker's emphasis on morale. Encouraging viewers to support the army is framed as a way of gingering the soldiers, meaning motivating or energizing them. Morale plays a crucial role in any organization, especially those operating in high-pressure environments. Public expressions of appreciation can contribute positively to morale, although practical support and institutional resources are equally important. When analyzing this message objectively, we must also recognize that narratives about security are rarely neutral. Every storyteller brings personal experiences, emotions, and assumptions into the narrative. The speaker in this statement clearly identifies with the national cause and views the reported encounter as a moment worth celebrating. Another commentator might focus on different aspects, such as humanitarian concerns or policy implications. For viewers seeking to understand complex issues, listening to multiple perspectives is often the best approach. By comparing different accounts and sources, audiences can build a more nuanced understanding of events. In conclusion, the statement you provided offers a vivid example of how citizens engage with security developments through digital platforms. It combines patriotic emotion, local detail, calls for verification, and appeals for national unity. While some elements may require independent confirmation, the message itself is valuable as a reflection of public sentiment and communication patterns. As you continue exploring topics like this, remember that thoughtful discussion is one of the most powerful tools for strengthening democratic societies. If you have insights about how online narratives influence public perception, feel free to share them in the comments. Engaging respectfully with diverse viewpoints helps create a healthier information environment. And before you go, don't forget to subscribe, comment, and share this analysis so that more people can participate in meaningful conversations about media narratives, security reporting, and the evolving role of digital communication in shaping how societies understand complex events.